Straight ahead on 12 News.
You can catch Ebola from someone who is sick or dead.
A Brooklyn Center radio station taking the lead on Ebola. Plus, uncertainty over health insurance rates and one local provider that's planning rate hikes. But first, the years and years of waiting finally comes to an end.
They finally have a road that we can now celebrate.
12 News starts right now. Hello and thanks for joining us. Today is the beginning of the end for Highway 610 construction.
In about a year and a half, the 610 connection to Interstate 94 should be complete. Officials celebrated today at the end of Highway 610 in Maple Grove. Crews will now begin work on the last 2.6-mile stretch. The new road will offer a boon to business and relief for commuters.
I can't think of anywhere in the state that there's a transportation project that is going to have more effect on economic growth.
And I think also today we can actually celebrate the fact that we're finally going to be able to help address some of the traffic jams, some of the wasted and lost time, some of the wasted fuel, and some of the safety concerns that folks in this area have genuine and real concerns about.
Commerce was definitely the word of the day during today's Highway 610 groundbreaking.
As Delane Cleveland reports, local leaders say the project will bring new development and create jobs.
If you haven't visited the northern tip of Brooklyn Park in a while, chances are that you wouldn't recognize it today.
The changes are just off the charts.
Just ask the new executive director of the North Hennepin Area Chamber of Commerce.
There really wasn't anything up in this whole area, north of what the old part of Brooklyn Park and Maple Grove.
Now, nearly every which way you turn, there's construction in this part of the metro.
Prospective companies are always looking for the quickest way to get from point A to point B as economically as possible.
Experts say Highway 610 and the upcoming expansion is a big reason for that.
This is going to be the definition of a corridor of commerce.
Local leaders say the long-awaited plan to extend Highway 610 all the way through to I-94 will have an economic ripple effect.
In Brooklyn Park, and certainly Maple Grove certainly has those that are licking their chops to get along this highway as well.
The door's open for business. They're very supportive of business.
But Erickson says one other place that should benefit is the city of Osseo.
Well, I think it's more than a trickle down. I think that Mayor Poppy and the City Council are very business-oriented and very growth-oriented.
A trip down Main Street today shows several vacant storefronts. But there's also a new development going up right next to City Hall. Construction is well underway at the 5 central apartments here in Osseo, but with the 610 expansion, local business leaders say this here is just the beginning.
Because there's a place here to have a lot of fun, make some good money, and reach some goals that might be difficult to achieve otherwise. It's going to be a winner all the way around. A lot of people are really excited about it.
Delane Cleveland, 12 News.
New job numbers out today pushed Minnesota's unemployment rate to 4.1%. That's an 8-year low. The labor force participation rate also dropped to below 70%, the lowest in 34 years. That's mostly the result of retiring baby boomers. Northwest Metro's large West African population is trying to calm fears due to the Ebola outbreak.
Sonia Goins shows us how a Liberian radio station in Brooklyn Center is helping to educate the public.
Radio Africa, Minnesota fan.
Hussein Fidigar is a DJ and co-owner of Radio Africa.
It's all around the world. We have more than 100,000 listeners.
He's not only spinning music, but a message.
We are resilient. We are fighters. And of course, we want to get rid of this deadly Ebola virus.
Hussein says the Minnesota Department of Health approached the station last week about promoting an Ebola awareness campaign.
To reach out to the people, the Liberian community actually, not only Liberian, but the African community.
Radio Africa is airing public service announcements like this one.
Ebola fever is caused by the Ebola virus. It is an infectious and generally fatal disease.
Hussein says Ebola can be stopped if the public is educated.
You can catch Ebola from someone who is sick or dead, so do not touch an infected person.
Hussein is from Liberia. For him, this awareness campaign is personal.
I have a cousin that just died from the disease. I've had numerous friends that died from the disease. It's like hopeless. You feel hopeless to just find a whole family just wipe away.
things are shifting very fast given some of the cases in the U.S.
Abdullah Kiatamba is the chairman of the Minnesota African Task Force Against Ebola, which is based in Brooklyn Park. He's warning people not to travel to West Africa.
They will begin to look at it as part of the problem, bringing an infection that will affect them.
The group is also trying to spread awareness rather than anxiety.
I think it's a legitimate fear, but that fear will melt away if there's a lot more information and there's a lot of preparation and prevention.
And a high-level planning meeting on Ebola took place today involving state health officials and an official from the U.S. Department of Justice. They talked about holding public awareness forums. And Mike and Alex, you know, we have one of the largest Liberian populations right here in Brooklyn Park and Brooklyn Center, and the Justice Department wants to know if they have any concerns.
Right.
Thanks, Sonia. In other news, a financial advisor from Plymouth has pleaded guilty to stealing nearly $1 million from customers. Susan Walker is a former advisor with Ameriprise. Prosecutors say she defrauded at least 24 of her clients using the money she stole to fund vacations, payments for a Lexus, and private school tuition. Court documents show the fraud went on for more than 4 years.
A police chase ended in Robbinsdale with the arrest of a man with a prior murder conviction. David Bryant was arrested Wednesday night at a home in the 4100 block of Lowry Avenue North. He had led police on a short chase that started in North Minneapolis. Police say Bryant crashed into a parked car, then ran away. He was arrested inside this Robbinsdale home, where police say he had a known acquaintance. No one was hurt. Brooklyn Center police need your help to find this man. He's a Peeping Tom, now spotted outside Brooklyn Center homes at least 3 times. Authorities say he has distinctive tattoos on each of his arms, a cross on his right biceps, and a praying hands tattoo on his left biceps. Anyone with information is urged to call Brooklyn Center Police.
Customers who have health insurance through Golden Valley-based Preferred One may be in for sticker shock. The health insurer says customers will see average premium increases of 63%. And the rate increases aren't just limited to Preferred One. There's also no one reason for the rate hikes.
Bottom line is bad news, obviously, and I don't think it's different for other insurance companies as well. People are seeing increases across the board regardless of the carrier that they have for their policy, but they need to talk to their agent about what their benefit options are for next year and what will meet their budget.
Agents believe the rate increases are due to market uncertainty over the Affordable Care Act. Up next, we are off to West Lutheran High School in Plymouth to meet this week's Standout students.
And then a bit later in sports, Osseo and Totino-Grace meet in football with a final conference title at stake.
But first, after a few beautiful days, a weather reality check. Cooler temperatures return on Friday. This week's Standout student takes us to West Lutheran High School in Plymouth.
Neil Persley introduces us to one senior who manages to combine different activities with a high level of academics.
Give me a look at this and say,
oh, I see. Oh,
17-year-old Ashley Bicey is an extremely well-rounded, exemplary senior at West Lutheran High School in Plymouth.
She works really hard.
Ashley takes a college-level Western Civ course in addition to a demanding array of other classes, but Ashley's interests extend well beyond the classroom.
Going into high school, I never thought I'd be in a drama production. I was last year. I was in Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat.
I went to the play last year and she did a great job.
Mr. Jensen not only teaches her mathematics, but is her volleyball coach as well.
I've known Ashley and her family since she was probably in 3rd grade, so it's kind of neat seeing her go all the way through and just mature to where she's at now and being a leader that she is.
In addition to captain on the varsity volleyball team, Ashley plays softball and basketball.
On the court, her intensity just, I think, rubs off on the other ones.
At West Lutheran, students are allowed and even encouraged to live out their lives as expressions of their faith in Jesus Christ, something which is important to Ashley as she now mentors younger girls in Bible studies.
The seniors at West Lutheran, I thought that they were the coolest girls. And I mean, just looked up at them by their Christ-centered.
Last year, in the middle of a frenzied volleyball tournament, Ashley reminded Coach Jensen that the team's focus needed to begin with prayer.
She takes that seriously, that, you know, there's a little, winning's important, but there's a lot more to be accomplished here than just winning.
Ashley is already planning for college.
I'm looking for more smaller private schools. I'm just enjoying every moment of high school.
In Plymouth, I'm Neil Persley, 12 News.
Coming up, superheroes team up in Brooklyn Park against bullying.
But first in sports, Champlin Park beats its oldest rival to close out the regular season with a win. John Jacobson has highlights of that and more when we come back.
For the third season in a row, Osseo and Totino-Grace met in the regular season finale in football with a conference title on the line. The Orioles not wanting to share the West Division title in the Northwest Suburban. Tied 3-3 when Justin Ekior takes the handoff. Sees trouble the right side, so backs up, heads the other way. A couple of key blocks helps Ekior to the end zone, and it's 9-3 Osseo at the half. But Grace comes out stronger after halftime. Kez Flomo takes the handoff and gets in. He rushes for over 200 yards on 35 carries. It's 10-9 Grace. Osseo answers, and check out this grab. Malik Gaylord's pass hauled in by a diving DeMario Armstrong. It sets up an Ekior TD, and Osseo leads 17-10 after 3. But it's mostly Grace from there. The Eagles line opens a huge hole for Flomo to walk in, tying the game at 17. And quarterback Lance Bennick scores on a keeper to make it 31-17. Osseo makes it interesting with a late TD, but Totino-Grace wins 31-24. Grace, Osseo, and Maple Grove share the conference title. Also in the Northwest Suburban, Champlin Park hosting Anoka. Second quarter tied at 7. Anoka's Sam Licari powers in from 3 yards out. Tornadoes lead 14-7 at the break. But on the opening kickoff of the second half, Champlin Park's Marty Hill fields it at the 1-yard line, finds a lane up the middle, bounces outside, and he is gone. It's a 99-yard touchdown for Hill. And just like that, we are tied at 14-all. Anoka answers, and it's Licari again. He gets loose for a 38-yard touchdown run. Tornadoes go back out in front of the Rebels. The fourth quarter, though, is all Rebels. Max Biegert to Harrison Jones for the 10-yard score to make it 21-21. Late in the fourth quarter, Anoka comes on the blitz. Watch Biegert avoid the rush and a throw to Hill. It's a 40-yard touchdown, and Champlin Park takes a 28-21 lead. One last chance for Anoka, but Caleb Seabin's pass is picked off by Hunter Yerkes. His second interception of the game returned to the 1-yard line, and that seals it. Champlin Park wins the battle for the paddle. 28-21, the final. Cooper entered the regular season finale in the new Metro West Conference with a chance to get a piece of the conference title with a win and some help elsewhere. Senior night at Cooper as the Hawks host Chaska. The option works well for the Chaska Hawks. Garrett Glyden takes the pitch, gets upfield in a hurry. Almost untouched on this play. He goes 64 yards for a touchdown and a 7-0 Chaska lead. Cooper answers. Philip Howard fakes the handoff and scoots in for the 2-yard touchdown. They fail on the conversion, and it's 7-6 Chaska after 1. Up 14-6 late in the second. Chaska strikes again. Sean Engel goes up to get the Justin Arnold pass for a touchdown. Chaska's up 21-6. Watch how the half ends. Derek Williams fields the kickoff. Doesn't look like much early, but he breaks a couple of tackles. Gets around the left side. Chaska still has a chance to get him, but Williams runs through arm tackles and scores on a 75-yard return as the first half clock runs out. And Cooper's within 21-14. Chaska, though, gets the only points of the second half. Arnold to Peyton Sanders here. He gets in for the score. Chaska wins 34-14 to tie Chanhassen for the Metro West title. In the Lake Conference, Wayzata faced arch rival Minnetonka. Wayzata out 3-0 in the second quarter. 3rd and goal for the Skippers from quarterback Braden Sykes. Looks for a receiver. Everyone's covered, so he keeps it himself and scores. And Minnetonka has a 7-3 lead. We move to the fourth quarter. Tonka's Vance Barn fumbles the handoff. Trevor Bedard recovers for the Trojans, which leads to a Clay Elmore 21-yard field goal, his second of the night. Gets Wayzata back within 10-6 with 6.5 minutes to play. But on the first play of the next drive, Barnes again mishandles the pitch, bounces right back to him, and he bursts up the middle, outrunning the defense on his way to a 76-yard touchdown. And that gives the Skippers a 17-6 lead. Wayzata tries to come back after a 46-yard Austin Gordon run. The Skipper's defense comes up big. Theo Mosley picks off the Jake Marsh pass, and the Skippers win 17-6 to take back the Bay Bell Trophy for the first time since 2009. And that's a look at sports for today.
Thanks, John. In Local Vote 2014, we are looking at the city council races in Brooklyn Park.
In the Central District, incumbent Rich Gates says the city has come a long way in fighting crime. Former Fire Chief Steve Schmidt highlights the need for quality development and good-paying jobs.
Hi, my name is Steve Schmidt, a Brooklyn Park resident since 1957, and I'm running for the City Council and the Central District. I've been with the Brooklyn Park Fire Department for 39 years, 9 years as the Fire Chief. I've been on the Planning Commission for 5 years, the Business Forward Advisory Board for 2 years. Issues we are facing are attracting high-quality development and redevelopment that will bring good jobs. The LRT, spending, property taxes, and future housing needs, but to name a few. I will do my best to represent all residents of the Central District and of the city, and I won't make any promises that I can't keep. I would appreciate your vote on November 4th. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Rich Gates, and I'm running for re-election to the Brooklyn Park City Council, Central District. In the past 8 years on the City Council, we have conquered many challenges, including reducing crime by 20% and youth crime by 41%. We did this by starting the Zanewood Rec Center, developing the Youth Violence Prevention Initiative, and adding a second police station. We have also, for the last 5 years, kept taxes on a median value home at 0%. We did this by starting a 2-year budget process and made tough decisions on staff and services. We have added a lot to our tax base by adding many businesses to Brooklyn Park. In my 8 years, we have also gotten 610 finished to Maple Grove and fixed the Devil's Triangle. We have also gotten the youth homeless shelter and the new Brooklyn Park Library in 2016. I ask for your vote November 4th to continue the great things we are doing in the city of Brooklyn Park.
Still ahead, superheroes take over a Brooklyn Park school.
Visible proof when we come back.
Finally, if you need help, a superhero is a handy person to have around.
It's why a Brooklyn Park Elementary School was a good place to be. We counted around 900 superheroes at Woodland Elementary on Wednesday. Everyone from pre-K students to 6th graders designed capes and wore orange to promote Unity Day, a nationwide event next week against bullying.
We talk a lot about being a victim, being a bully, being an upstander instead of a bystander, and this is just a great way to jump off into that conversation.
Unity Day is Wednesday, October 22nd. Everyone is encouraged to wear orange that day.
We're ready for it now.
We're ready, that's right. That does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
Community Corner is coming up next, and we'll see you back here tomorrow starting at 4.